has just compiled a report on that Russian hoax that DNI Gabbard has since declassified. I want to ask you the same question that I just asked Senator Grassley, and that is, do you think there will be accountability for people like John Brennan and James Comey?
Well, we're certainly hoping for that. I mean, that was the reason why we actually released the report, and DNI Gabbard declassified it, so everybody could get a look at just exactly what happened, what under President Obama's direction and with you know, a complicit Director Comey and CIA Director Brennan and others, what they were able to do. I mean, they hobbled President Trump in his first term and went on and really impaired his ability to secure a second term in 2020. And it's really high time that someone was held to account.
Congressman, if I could just add, it's Raymond Arroyo. As you look at this anew, my question is, what's changed since John Durham did an investigation and prosecuted this case? Durham looked at this extensively. He was the special prosecutor they named. He explored it. There were 2 prosecutions, I believe. Both ended in acquittals. What's different now? What do you know now that Durham didn't know?
I think it's classified annex is the difference maker, and the fact that it has been reviewed and declassified so that now we get a look at it. These are things that we knew on the Intel committee but really couldn't talk about, obviously, because it was classified. And so, you know, we can, you know, in our world, we can, our job is to oversee the intelligence community. And we can do investigations, but we can't prosecute. We can make criminal referrals where it's necessary. Yeah. But you recall the Durham investigation took a long, long time, but it was limited to, you know, just the unclassified stuff. So when the classified annex was declassified, using the appropriate procedure to do so,
tell people what that is, Congressman. They don't know. The viewers,
world of information.
The viewers don't know what a classified annex is. Tell them what that secure room was and how it was discovered.
Sure. So the classified annex basically had all that information that he couldn't go public with. That was, you know, classified, so it was prepared in an annex to the report. That is the, you know, appended to the report that essentially it was never released to the public. So most everybody didn't realize the extent of that investigation. So if all you did was look at the unclassified material, what they deemed was appropriate to share, you would probably come to the same conclusion. But when you look at the classified material that was since been released, you have a completely different picture, a more fulsome picture of exactly what happened.
Congressman, Chairman, thank you so much for your time on this Saturday Night Molly line here. Also on the investigative front, but this time about these violent riots that have erupted all across the country this year. There's reporting that some of the organizers have ties to Soros-funded groups. Now, the president is calling for George Soros and his friend and his son, Alexander, to be brought up on potentially RICO charges over these allegations. There was a statement to Fox. Soros Open Society Foundations denies any involvement in this violence. So the question is, should the FBI, other intel agencies, be investigating potential ties with these Soros groups?
I would think that would certainly be in the FBI's lane to look at that, because the reality is, you know, there's the old saying, you know, follow the money. And, you know, I want to start by saying in this country, you're innocent until proven guilty. But, you know, most of the time where there's smoke, there's fire. And there's a lot of smoke here. And it's the endless supply of money that they've been able to provide candidates up and down the ballot across the country. I mean, how is that even possible? I think these are valid questions. And you know, Soros has had his hands in this for a long, long time. So I do think it's entirely appropriate to investigate thoroughly what's taking place there.
Congressman David Webb here. Thanks for joining us. Scale and scope to add to what Molly asked about. George Soros has been very clear with the Open Society Foundation. He's given over $32 billion through the foundation. He's supported Biden, Hillary, various other organizations, numerous organizations. And it goes to the question of whether there is a potential for federal RICO or even state level. Also, it's been very effective in the judicial space beginning in 2015 with his money that was put into various prosecutors and getting judges elected, and still ongoing today with organizations that are literally training judges. We see legal warfare underway. With all of this, this is why so many people, to your point, when they see all this smoke, ask, how can you not find the fire? I understand it's difficult, but the C3 versus C4 structure, are you going to look into this at the federal level and then work with state partners where there may be violations, not only of federal IRS code, potential RICO statutes, or even state nonprofit statutes?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Federal and state ought to be working, together on this. But I have every confidence that FBI Director Patel and Attorney General Bondi will definitely take this on aggressively. And to your point, I mean, all up and down the ticket, it seems like, it just appears, it gives the appearance of a giant money laundering operation, whether it's Act Blue or whether it's the Open Society Foundation or whatever it is. You have to start asking the question, where is all this money coming from? How do they do it? And what other organizations are involved to help continue to fund those organizations? Are there other NGOs involved in this? And those are things that I think are right in the FBI's lane, and they